The witness of the stars, a cosmic paradox. You know, when you look up at a clear night sky, it feels entirely chaotic, right? It just looks like an endless, random scattering of glowing dots thrown across the vast void of space. But that infinite tapestry is actually harboring a really profound mystery. Welcome to the Sixplainer, where we're going to unpack this cosmic paradox hiding right above our heads.
Let's start by zooming all the way out for a second. Think about this ultimate cosmic paradox. Every completely unique star is trapped by the exact same invisible rules. On one hand, you have infinite cosmic diversity. Literally no two stars in the universe are perfectly alike. But on the other hand, there's this strict, universal governance holding the whole shebang together. It's actually kind of unsettling when you stop to realize that amidst all that apparent randomness in the night sky, there is an ironclad system dictating exactly what every single one of those massive glowing spheres can and cannot do.
Okay, let's really dive into this. Out there in the cosmos, there is just a chaotic variety of stars. We're talking drastically different sizes, from massive hypergiants that could easily swallow our entire solar system, down to tiny, incredibly dense white dwarfs. They burn at completely different core temperatures, putting out brilliant colors that range from cool, deep red to a blistering blue, and they span billions of years in age. Yet despite all of those incredibly unique characteristics, there's a deeply embedded similarity. They are all governed by the exact same universal rules. The universe isn't just letting them do whatever they want. There's an inescapable framework here. And look, we aren't just talking about a small sample size here. When modern astronomers look up, they aren't just analyzing a few dozen stars in our local neighborhood. They're classifying billions of them. And when you look at empirical science on this scale, when you classify billions of stars across the observable universe, a massive, absolutely undeniable pattern emerges. The sheer volume of data backing this up is staggering. We aren't just guessing about this cosmic order, we're measuring it. Across billions upon billions of data points, the universe absolutely refuses to break its own rules. So, how do we actually make sense of this mountain of data? Astronomers rely on something called the Hertzsprung-Russell diagram. If you've ever studied astronomy, you'll recognize this instantly as the core tool used to classify stars. Think of it like a massive data roadmap for the cosmos. When you plot a star's surface temperature against its true brightness, they don't just scatter randomly all over the graph like you might expect from a completely chaotic universe. Instead, they fall into distinct, highly predictable sequences. This diagram is essentially how empirical science tames the chaos of the night sky, beautifully revealing the shared physical behaviors that every single star obeys. So the crucial point is, what exactly are these invisible rules? While the astronomy is incredibly complex, it really boils down to three fundamental physical laws at play here. First, fusion. Every star is essentially a giant nuclear furnace, just fusing lighter elements into heavier ones in its core to survive. Second, gravity. The crushing, immense weight of a star's own mass is constantly trying to collapse it inward, which is perfectly, delicately balanced by the outward pressure of that nuclear fusion. And third, light emission. The physics dictating how a star radiates its energy out into the cold vacuum of space. These aren't just loose guidelines. These are strict, identical rules governing absolutely every star in existence. To put this into perspective, think about just how mind-boggling the scale of these rules really is. A star shining over the skies of Istanbul right now, and a star burning brightly in a distant galaxy billions of light years away, are bound by the exact same reality. When it comes to these fundamental laws of physics, location means literally nothing. That exact same delicate balance of gravity and fusion applies uniformly across the entire known universe. Distance just doesn't dilute the rules. The universe is incredibly, almost unimaginably consistent. Now, this is where things get really fascinating. We naturally transition from the hard, cold scientific data to a profound philosophical interpretation provided by our source material. Because when human beings observe these uniform laws of gravity and fusion across the cosmos, we don't just see math equations, right? We naturally look for meaning. A great thinker looks at this empirical cosmic data and asks what it actually signifies that billions of completely isolated, distant entities all behave in the exact same manner. It's a fascinating shift from asking how the universe works to genuinely wondering about the why behind this incredible uniformity. Just listen to how one historical commentator in our source beautifully personifies these celestial bodies. The quote reads, "Don't you see the stamp of unity on our faces? We are luminous witnesses in the sea of the sky." It's an incredibly poetic perspective, isn't it? The stars are viewed here not as random accidents of burning gas and dust, but as active witnesses. They're testifying to a grander order. Just let that thought breathe for a second. The night sky is an ocean, and the stars are luminous witnesses to an absolute unyielding unity. So, what does the stamp of unity actually mean in this context? Well, it's a philosophical concept suggesting that the immense cosmic diversity we see, the giants and the dwarfs, the red stars and the blue stars, is actually just different manifestations of a single unified system. The chaos of different sizes and temperatures isn't actually chaos at all. It's simply variety within a deeply ordered framework. This concept beautifully synthesizes the rigid scientific laws we just discussed with a harmonious, holistic view of reality. The laws of physics are the stamp. The resulting order is the unity. Now, what's really interesting here is the secret code behind all of this unity: light spectrums. If the philosophical idea of unity sounds maybe a bit too abstract, let's zoom back into the absolute, irrefutable empirical proof. How do we know, without a shadow of a doubt, that a star billions of light years away is governed by the exact same rules as our own sun? The answer lies in the light they send us across the void. We can actually decode that incoming light, and the data we get back is absolutely incredible. Think about it like this. If we take an element like hydrogen or helium and heat it up in a laboratory right here on Earth, it emits a very specific barcode of light. It's a precise atomic fingerprint. Incredibly, when we point our telescopes at the furthest corners of the universe and capture the light from a distant galaxy, the atomic structures match perfectly. An atom tested on Earth acts identically to one located in a completely different time and place in the cosmos. It's a perfect match. What this perfect spectral match tells us is pretty staggering. The universe reads the exact same way everywhere. Think about the gravity of that statement. This perfect match proves the existence of a common universal language connecting everything. The physics of a laboratory on Earth are the exact same physics operating in the most distant ancient quasar. There are no regional dialects in the laws of physics. It's one flawless, unbroken script written across the entire expanse of space and time. Which brings us to the core takeaway of this explainer: one unified cosmic system. The vast, overwhelming diversity you see when you look up at the night sky does not mean chaos. It's a grand, highly structured symphony of order. Every unique star, no matter its age, its size, or its distance from us, is playing a part in the exact same song. They are all governed by the exact same rules, and they all carry that exact same stamp of unity. So as we zoom all the way back out to take in the entire galaxy, we're left with a truly massive, lingering question to ponder. We've seen the empirical data, we've decoded the light, and the conclusion is absolutely undeniable. Billions of stars speak with a single language. Who taught them this language?